Hey everybody, it's Scott from SJ's Lottery Models, and we got some updates. So I'm gonna get back to the Oldsmobile in the next video and show you what's going on with that. But I thought I'd give you an update on what's going on with Heather and I and SJ's Lottery Models itself. So, long story short, we are moving. And so there may be a time in the future, near future, that I might not be making videos consistently. I've had a problem with consistency with this channel from day one. However, because we are buying a new home and having to move all of our stuff, a lot of the models are packed up and ready to get moved to the new house. Having said that, Heather suggested that I make an unfinished project video. And after the Acme builds are done, which I hope is soon, we will have instead of a lottery for the whole collection, we will have a lottery just on unfinished projects. So I thought I'd turn the camera around and show you. This is not all of my unfinished projects of models, but it's many of them. So I'll turn the camera around and we'll see what we have. By the way, this is the model collection. Most of it's boxed up, along with a few other things, and the majority of Heather's bead collection. But that's a story for another time. This is the rack of unfinished projects. And some of you have seen them when I've started them on the channel. Some of you have not. And some of it has never been on the channel. So we'll talk briefly about this. So we'll start with this Monogram 55 Chevy down here. I started with one of these in a group build in a model club I was in, and had my ambitions exceeded my skill level. And I've got 3 or 4 of these Monogram 55 Chevys, and one of the bodies got messed up and I threw it away. Another one was going to be for the Star Wars meets American Graffiti build, which some of you know about. Turns out this might not be a good selection for that. We'll see. Next up is this 55 Chevy, which may be a good candidate for the American Graffiti meets Star Wars build, along with all those 32 Fords. Okay, there's some resin ones. There's what I have done on the American Graffiti meets Star Wars. If you zoom in there, that box is labeled. There's my AMT Graffiti Coupe, and a bunch of my 32 Fords. Another one I started on before the channel was this 66 Buick Riviera. The build was going pretty well, and I laid down the paint, and then I didn't clear it, and I put down the bare metal foil, and when I pulled away the extra bare metal foil, it took the paint right off. So yeah, that was frustrating, and I abandoned that. As a weekend project, when I was visiting family, I started working on this MPC police patrol car. It's a snap together kit, but somehow or another, the pieces weren't going together well. So, yeah, that never happened. The Surf Woody, we picked this up at a show a year or so ago, and it was a started project in an original box. But I don't know how, I never started on it myself, so I don't know how this ended up in the unfinished projects, but there it is. This AMT C1500 Sports Side, I robbed that for parts But there's still a lot of good stuff in there that I might try and make into a truck someday. This 63 Corvette Stingray I got from my dad. And he was having problems with the build and gave it to me to finish it. And I've tried stripping the paint, and the paint is not giving up. So, maybe we'll get back to that one day. This Polar Lights Snap Together Batmobile, I should have turned into a weekend project, and I made it more complicated than it was and started painting stuff that really didn't need to be painted. So, yeah. Maybe a nice slump buster will strip the paint from the stuff I painted and get that together over a weekend. This Cadillac was going to be part of the Music in Motion theme for Acme, and it still might be. We'll see. Anyway, who doesn't want a mile-long Cadillac? This Revell 57 Chevy Bel Air, I started on it and started, I got wheels and tires from another kit and put in an LS engine and had it all ready to put together, and I did a test fit and my rear axle was too wide. So it scares me to tear it apart and narrow that rear axle, but that needs to be done in order to finish this kit. So maybe that'll happen one day. This 57 Chevy Nomad was supposed to be part of the Street Machine build hosted by Blue Ox Model Shop. But I can't even remember what problems I ran into there. Time. Oh, yes. Yeah, holidays and stuff. Okay, the 64 Mercury Marauder is not really an abandoned project, it's just leftover spare parts. I built that for a 48-hour group build hosted by the Mutt Modeler 2 years ago. And highly recommend the 64 Mercury Marauder from AMT. Goes together pretty well and makes a pretty sharp kit. The Aerovet came up on the lottery. I think it was the last lottery draw we had, and I had paint problems of my own doing. So I've stripped off some of the paint of the Aerovet, and maybe that'll come up as an unfinished project build. And lastly, this 69 Baldwin Motion Camaro, which was part of the USAC build. I went through 3 or 4 Camaros before I finally got something that was presentable for the USAC build. It was late, but I finished it. And this is leftover spare parts from 2, 3, maybe 4 Camaro kits. Okay, so that's the unfinished projects shelf. And pretty soon these will be boxed up and become part of this collection of boxed up stuff here. So anyway, thanks for watching SJ's Lottery Models. Leave a like and, comment, subscribe, and share. And thanks for coming along on the ride with SJ's Lottery Models. Bye for now, guys.